Hello guys and welcome back to a new video here at Architects 3DP. Today we're going to review something different that we're not used to see on the channel. The main sponsor of today's video is ELECROW, an online store where you'll find all kinds of cool electronic products as well as services such as PCB fabrication and assembly, 3D printing, CNC milling, lasers and more. ELECROW has provided for this video their great Arduino Smart Plant Watering Kit 2.1 that I have right here and I'm going to unbox for you guys. As I was saying, the package comes from ELECROW, and the first we see when we open it is a bunch of protective foam, a cardboard box and the Smart Watering Kit itself. I'm going to open the other cardboard box and as you can see contains 1 kilogram of pink PLA filament. I was supposed to use this filament for the project, but it is very old and it breaks very easily, so I wasn't able to print anything with it. And jumping to the automatic Smart Plant Watering Kit itself, here we have it guys. As you can see, it comes in a very cool case with all the branding and so on. As you can see, here are all the components of the package. And basically this system will take the water from the water tank. And when the system detects lack of water on the plants, using the pump will send water to the distribution block, which will individually provide water to the plants according to the read of their sensor. I think I didn't explain myself very clearly, but you're gonna understand everything in a couple minutes once we assemble everything together. Alright, so once we open the box, we'll find a bunch of bags with the humidity sensors. They are 4 in total, as you can see. Next, we'll find the cables that will connect the sensors to the motherboard itself. They are about 1 meter long, and as you can see, they have the same type of plug on each side. Next, we have the power supply that outputs 12 volts. A short USB-A to micro USB cable, the water pump itself. This looks like the electro valve system for the 4 circuits. This looks kind of a distribution collector for the pipes, a long transparent tube, and finally the electronics. So having a closer look at the components, here we have the short USB-A to micro USB cable, the 4 moisture sensors that as you can see have their own cable, but I guess we'll not use them because we'll go with the longer ones. The sensor basically is a PCB with all the components assembled and the cable connector. And quickly swipe the cable to the longer one, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is to unwrap the longer pipe that we'll use for watering. Here we have the 2 ends. And now we're going to connect one of them to the distribution device. It is perfectly connected and won't go anywhere. Here you have a closer look to the power supply, and as you can read, will output 12 volts at 2 amps. Next, the water pump. It comes already with all the cable connections made and the cable coming out that will plug to the motherboard. As you can see, the water will go in from here and will go out from the side. Here we have the electro valve array that I guess will have a solenoid inside each of the 4 valves. All the cables come to a plug that will directly connect to the motherboard. Finally, we have the brain of the system, the motherboard itself, that I'm going to take out of the bag right now. As you can see, it comes fully pre-assembled, even with the screen installed in place. We can unplug it right here and place it anywhere else, connecting it with jumpers to the board if you want. Here's the motherboard itself with all the different devices installed. It has a gap here that I guess you can use to install a battery. And we also find different buttons pre-assembled to the device. Pretty cool board. I am going to install the OLED screen back in place just like that, and I'm going to connect it to the electricity to see what happens. After loading the software, here we have the 4 plants with the moisture percentage. As we have not connected the sensors, I think it's showing random information, but it seems pretty cool. I am going to bring some plants here that are completely dead. The water percentage should be very low. I am going to plug the 4 sensors to each of the 4 longer cables, and once done, I will insert them on each of the 4 plant pots, just like that. We'll plug each of the 4 cables to each of the 4 connectors here at the bottom of the board, but before we're going to connect the electro valve array to this connector right here. Next, the water pump, right next to it, and finally the 4 sensors in place just like that. That was the last one. Once everything is connected, the board will look like this. So finally we'll connect the power supply here and it will just power on. The pump immediately starts, since as you can see, the 3 dead plants are under 10% moisture and the one alive is about 25%. I am going to turn it on and make the cable connections to test the device. I am going to orient it in this way, so the pipes coming out of the collector will plug into the shorter pipes on the electro valve's side. So for that we'll need to cut 4 short portions of tube, just like that, and we'll connect them to both the electro valves as well as the distribution block. We have 2 connected now, so we'll go for the other 2. Now we are ready to continue connecting all the components. Here we have the array of distribution and valves ready to go. Next step will be to connect the input of the collector to the output of the pump right here. So I'm going to cut the cable just like that and plug it in place right here on the center. Now that this is all connected, we'll need to connect the pipe here on the motor that will take the water from a water tank. So I'm going to cut a portion just like that and connect one of the ends to the water pump. I'm going to test if it works. And as you can see and hear, it is working perfectly. So last step here, we'll remove the cap of the water bottle and we'll insert the end of the pipe just like that. I'm going to put some tape to not mess everything up with the bottle. Last step will be to cut some pipe segments that will connect from each of the electro valves to each of the plants. I am going to use some cloth pegs to give them some weight, and that way they won't go out of the plant pots. That's the 4th one, and we are now ready to test the system. So to test it, we'll just need to press the power button and watch the result. But we're going to do that after I introduce to you with today's video sponsor, that is no other than KissFan. Because at KissFan, it's time to create a great saving with the Christmas sale. It is also known as the end of the year sale. Usually the biggest shopping time in the entire year. If anyone plans to build, upgrade or buy new computers, don't miss the web store KissFan's deals for necessary software. Please go to kissfan.com through the links that you will find down in the description and use the codes JD50 for a 50% off in Windows 10 and 11 keys and JD66 for a 66% discount for Office products. Remember that you will find the links down in the description. So back to the device, once we start it, as you can see, it will immediately start pumping water through the 4 pipes just like that. As you can see, the water is going through every pipe, and once it gets to the correct moisture level, it will stop. As the plants are completely dead, it had already run out of water. Now, as there are no instructions about the order of the sensors and electro valves, what I'm going to do is to try to guess which pipe serves each sensor. And once I figured it out, we are ready to jump to the plants that are alive, and I'm going to install them the smart system. So jumping to the plants area here next to the window, here I have the 4 plants we're going to use for this project. I am going to start by installing each of the sensors on each of the plants. Next step, plug in the power supply and connect it to the board. When we turn it on, as you can see, these plants have some more moisture. So after preparing the water and making all the cable connections, I am going to put the electronics right here in this gap. We'll use the shipping box for now to test the system. And after plugging in all the sensor cables, we'll plug in all the cable pipes that will cut to length and insert in every plant pot. Actually, I'm going to place all the electronics here in the middle of the plants, so the pipe runs will be shorter. Once here, we'll connect each plant to the electro valves array. And once all 4 are in place, we'll be ready to start the system. So after installing everything in place, I'm going to test the sensors one by one. And as you can see, when we remove the sensor, the plant will immediately start watering. And when we insert the sensor back, it will automatically stop. As you can see, our system is a bit messy, since all the electronics are laying on the table, the water bottle on the floor and so on. So what I'm going to do now is to tidy everything up a little bit. Starting with the cloth pegs. I've designed and printed these pins where we'll insert the water pipes and we'll use them to plug them into the soil of the plants. Here you have a closer look. We'll insert the pins on each of the water pipes and we'll plug them into each of the plant pots. And once all 4 ends of the pipes are inserted on each of the plants, we'll only need to deal with the mess on the table, with all the valves and electronics. And for that, I've designed and printed this cool box, which will hold all the valves, motor and electronics inside. The electronics will go on top of this shelf, since it seems that the water system has some kind of leak, and that way we won't get a shortcut. So we'll first insert the water pipe through this hole right here. This end will go to the water bottle, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. Next we'll put some paper at the bottom of the box, just in case we have any leaks, and right away we'll put the water pump and electro valves on top just like that. Next we'll install the shelf on top of the devices we just inserted. It will fit in place with a little pressure. Here we go. So once installed, we'll put the electronics of the system on top of the shelf just like that, dealing with the cables as well as we can and inserting it in place just like that. Once done, we'll insert the cover all the way in, pressing down the cables and inserting the cover all the way through. As you can see, it has a gap right here on this side for the cables and pipes to come out of the box. Here we have the Architect 3DP and the ELECROW smart watering kit assembled and ready to go. We have connected every sensor and pipe in place, being this the last one, and what we're going to do now is going to be to turn on the device, close the cover and let it take care of our plants. As a last test, let's check if it works. So we'll remove and dry the sensor on this plant, and as you can see, it automatically starts watering. If we remove the Monstera sensor, it will automatically work as well. It also works with this plant, as you can appreciate, what is a complete success. And that's been it for this really cool device from ELECROW, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this very cool video and project, guys. You will find the links in the description, both for the smart kit from ELECROW as well as for the 3D printed parts that you will be able to download from our webpage. To finish, just please make sure you are subscribed to the channel, consider supporting our work on Patreon through the link in the description, as all these amazing people does, and as always, see you in the next video.